this one started, and off we go here in New Orleans. And they'll get him down inside the 30 to 27. The Cardinals now getting set to go offensively, and it'll be the dual-threat quarterback Kyler Murray leading the way.
And when you watch him play, all you think about is how dynamic he is. He can beat you with his arm and his legs. Threw for over 20 touchdowns for the first time since 2021. Fully healed from a knee injury a couple of seasons ago. He's got his team thinking big in 2025.
They'll fake it to counter. Now Murray. Now he'll tuck this and run. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
I do think it's fair to say they were caught off guard a little bit when they decided not to throw it on first down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the first down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Now the veteran workhorse. Here's James Conner. And he'll get it near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, "Are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down." They love being physical.
Right back to Conner here on first. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Conner. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. The Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. The decision to keep it turns out to be a good one. 11 yards in the first down. Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there. Worked out well.
And how about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. And let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
Shotgun now from Murray. He completes it to Jones. They'll get him to the ground at the 20, following a pickup of 4. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Murray now. They'll try to pick it. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal? That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on 3rd down. So on fourth down, out comes Chad Ryland for the Arizona field goal. From the left hash, this will be a 41-yarder. And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. Even though they didn't find the end zone, they have to be pretty pleased with how they moved the ball on the ground because we know that that was one of their big goals in this game.
And that really goes through the entire offense because when you're running the ball effectively, just about everyone's involved. It's not just the guy carrying the football. It's everyone blocking for him, both inside and on the perimeter.
So after the field goal, Lyland back out as he'll send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. We often poke a little fun at running backs past the age of 30. Oh, they're getting old, they can't run anymore. Well, he's showing past the age of 30, you can still have some nice runs like that.
You certainly can, and I think that we're starting to expand our definition of old running back. Because it used to be as soon as they hit 30, you want to get rid of these guys and go to the younger guys. But now that the guys are taking such great care of themselves, as you pointed out, you can still get explosive runs at any age.
Just a gain of a couple there. And it'll be second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Rattler from the gun, third down. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping to one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Stop by Garrett Williams.
At the Cardinals' 27-yard line.
This is 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Rattler. Johnson with a completion over the middle. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 14. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
At the 14-yard line.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Kamara up the middle. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
They work now on 2nd and 9. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Kendra Miller, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Saints Saints have answered that early field goal to take a first quarter lead. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Group will be able to add the PAT, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Touchdown. Here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. To throw is Murray. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up second down. Maybe just a lack of concentration there as he couldn't haul it in.
And when you're going across the middle like that, he's running that drag route, you are conscious of all the bodies and the traffic in there. But let's face it, if you're going there, you might as well come down with the football and absorb whatever else happens after that.
Murray now going to do it himself. And he's brought down, giving this one up to about the 35. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
To about the 40-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up second and 5 at the 40-yard line.
Ball at the 40 here for second and 5. On the counter, it's Connor. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a third down and 6.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Now Murray. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. And now Kellen Moore not thrilled with that last call. And out comes a red challenge flag.
The previous play is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Now, here's the call.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Murray a give. This is Connor. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Wilson's got it complete. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Murray. He'll try to pick it up himself. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 33. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Murray going to throw. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Well, I don't want to be a jinx partner and put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the first quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the Saints' 18-yard line.
Murray now to throw. Pass complete there to Harrison. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On play action, it's Murray. Throw left side to Higgins. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
From the 5, 2nd and 4. To throw, it's Murray. Now he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kyler Murray taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals are able to move back in front.
If you're going to play quarterback in the NFL, you've got to have great vision and you've got to remain calm when things break down in the pocket. Both of those traits were on display there. He surveys the situation, sees the middle of the field open, so he's just going to step up and take it himself. Very well done there.
Chad Ryland now to add the PAT. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that drive spans 13 plays. And the play that polished it off was the touchdown run by Kyler Murray. The kicker Ryland, and he'll send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their second drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive as they watch the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down and a 21-yard gain.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage were so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to hit 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Kamara gets it again on second down. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Part of their strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and first down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
To the sideline and incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's second and 10. To the air is Rattler. Finding Alvin Kamara for the completion. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 24-yard line.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Here's Rattler. Now he's going to step up and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
This is where the NFL is headed year by year, partner. A league where just about everyone has someone under center who can get you with their legs as well as their arm. And we've certainly had a nice display of that from both QBs in this game, and that continued with that first down run.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal.
4-yard gain brings up second and goal at the 1-yard line.
And this is not going to do it as he's stopped at the 2-yard line. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he's unable to make the play himself on second down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on third down?
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw for it with Rattler. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Mac Wilson with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second wave to make sure if he squirts free, you've got someone to tackle him.
And his kick is good. Well, I don't know if they would have gone for it on 4th and goal anyway, but the sack on 3rd down pretty much made their mind up for them.
You're exactly right about that, and this is a tough place on the field to take a sack because, as you just noted, it took the decision-making away from them. Now they have to go for a field goal instead of potentially going for it.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the 42 now, here's 2nd and 2. Again, a run with Connor. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, Murray. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Cardinals first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2. Gotta say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in a shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 4. Play action. Now it's Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Murray keeps it himself, and he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to convert, albeit not by much, on 3rd and a yard.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
Murray giving to Connor on the option. possession. And he is going to lose yardage here. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
This size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. It's Wilson.
Murray's pass completed to number 14, Michael Wilson. On gain of 12, it brings up 3rd and less than a yard.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Murray on the sneak. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
First down. A pickup of 2 yards. And a Cardinal first down.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Play fake. Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there. He's got his tight end. That's Ryman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Receiver downfield. Offense.
So he gets too far beyond the line, and that's an easy call for the official.
Still first down.
Here's Murray. Finds his running back, James Conner. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Brings up
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's second down. All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. Throwing now is Murray. There's a short one caught by Ryman. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Murray now. Will try to pick it up himself. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8.
an 8-yard pickup. First down, Cardinal.
Remember, Brandon, he ran for a touchdown earlier, so his decision to go ahead and tuck it and go again turned out to be a wise one.
And the decision is what is important here. He has made some good decisions on when to tuck it and go. A give running right is Counter. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So as they talk it over, we step aside. This is a 2nd and 4, ball at the 9. They'll stay on the ground with Counter again. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. try and run forward with Carr. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So another third down conversion, and now they've got a first and goal. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. That's to McBride, and he has it. Touchdown, Cardinals. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Cards will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Ryland on for the extra point. On the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he takes it the distance across the goal line for 2 points. That is a play that you just do not see very often. Maybe a couple times a year, the blocked extra point return for 2.
You can't afford to give anyone a free run at the kicker. Oftentimes, he's going to bounce off his hands or chest and head the other direction.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Saints offense going to head out now late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Throwing is Rattler. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. It'll be a loss of only a couple on the sack, but now it'll bring up third down. They'll throw now on the final play. Pass taken in by his big tight end. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Looking to put a drive together. He'll start with a give to Kamara. He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On play action, Rattler. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at third down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try and escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
In motion, the tight end. Rattler wants to throw it. Pressure comes and the Cardinals bring him down. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush, because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And it's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 34. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's 3rd down.
Looked at me like the adopter of my kindergarten teacher always said, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has, percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Looking to put a drive together. start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 62 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run it again with Kamara. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
2nd and 7. Now Rattler. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback, he's not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. And here comes Dortch on the return. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. The Cardinals offense and Kyler Murray headed back out onto the field. And this defense has got to be at its wits' end, trying to come up with ways to keep him contained. He's had so many opportunities to tuck it and go, and he's turned a number of those opportunities into big plays. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Murray off play action. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point of attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he is going to have a Cardinals first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3 and out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. Here's 2nd and 7. Murray now to throw. And it is caught downfield by Harrison. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Marvin Harrison Jr., 61 yards. And the Cardinals are able to stretch out their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Now Ryland for the PAT. He missed one earlier, remember, but this time he gets it to go. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Touchdown, back out to kick it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Now the Saints coming back out ready to go for this next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Looking to put a drive together. They'll throw. Here's Rattler. Open that left side. Shaheed has it. And they'll get it out just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success. 19 yards.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose. And that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. Now a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They moved it a combined 33 yards. But I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
80 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
Here's Rattler. They'll set up the screen now to Camaro. And out of bounds right around the 20.
And good yardage there on first down, because sometimes all you need to do on the screen is get one key block. That might set your man free, and that was pretty good pursuit to the football defensively, or it could have gone for more.
From the 20, here's 2nd and 4. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. They'll pound it up the middle with Camara. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. First down.
The Saints, first down. First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Focus after that run isn't how many yards they gained. They said they gained a first down, and they've been running it well all game long.
So the ball down to the 16 here for first and 10. To the air is Rattler. Now he'll tuck this and run. Sets him up nicely. First and goal was a pickup of 14.
It's a gain of 14 yards. That's another Saints first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new. It worked there. Kamara is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line.
The line of scrimmage.
Nothing at all on that one. It'll be second down.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
Now a third and goal situation as this Arizona defense tries to stand tall once more. They'll look to throw for it with Rattler. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Mac Wilson picks up his second sack of the afternoon. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
A 26-yard attempt.
And his kick is indeed good. And that'll make this an 8-point game. So 3 points, maybe not a grand prize at this stage, but it does get them back within one score.
It certainly does, because now they stay within shouting distance, so that means everyone on your sideline stays engaged in this game. They know they still have a shot.
So after the field goal, back out is Groupie to send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Murray going to throw. This one finds Wilson downfield. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
That is the exact right play call against that defense. So a hat tip to the offensive play caller because he won that part of the chess match. But give credit to his players as well. They won the execution part of it.
Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Now Murray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Harrison. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. We have played watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the fourth. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's Murray. Screen pass to Connor. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the first down. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
To throw is Murray. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away. Throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Murray. Now he's going to step up and run. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 19. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Cardinals first down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now, because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
With his size, it often takes more than one guy to get him down, but if you can at least slow him up and the reinforcements arrive, you have a chance to get him on the ground, and that they did, that time for a loss.
Connor going to get it again on second down. And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. No surprise there. Chase Young wrecks that play with a sack.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
So on is the kicker, Chad Ryland, in a big spot. This to make it a 2-score game. And this one is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still a lot to of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
So after the field goal, Lyman back out as he'll send this one away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The New Orleans offense set to take over. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Looking to put a drive together. They'll fake the give, and here's Rattler. There's Chris Olave. And out across midfield down to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? Throwing is Rattler. There's a short one to the tight end, Johnson. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 38 now, here's second and 3. They'll drop to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 25-yard line.
First down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Back to throw again. Now he'll and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's second and 11. Looking to throw. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up third down.
And the 11.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Rattler from the gun, third down. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete.
That's interference.
But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away. Changes what your play calls are going to be.
And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line.
Leads to
No gain on the play, and it's going to be second and goal. Again, Kamara. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
The sneak successful from the yard out. And the Saints have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
And this is something right out of the Philadelphia playbook. They were successful running this with Jalen Hurts. But this is a copycat league, so if it works for them, everyone thinks it'll probably work for us. And here, it does.
A big spot now for the Saints as they'll indeed go for two.
The Saints will line up for the two-point conversion.
They'll turn to Kamara. And he will get into the end zone to cut the lead down to a single point.
Saints 23.
I guess the coach looked at the two-point cheat sheet, said go for it, get it to a three-point game, and they did it.
Yeah, and sometimes you just throw out time of game. You don't worry about that. There's just a feel sometimes in making that call, and he felt good about what he had for a two-point conversion, and now they're only down 3 and feeling great about themselves.
After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Cardinals take
Here's the
over
Arizona
first and
offense
10
now as they get set to take over.
26-yard line.
Their lead back down to one score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here first and 10. Looking to put a drive together. He'll start the drive with a give to Connor. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's second and 11. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
And this is the worry because sometimes you get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
3rd and 8. Here's Murray. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And they will take over first and 10. The Saints offense and the veteran Alvin Kamara getting set for this next possession. And it's hard to believe you could run the ball a whole lot better than he has. The vision, the cutback ability, the acceleration, it's all been on display throughout. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they got to go thank the guys on D.
From the 35, here's second and 3. Here's Kamara out of the pistol. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point, and they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. On the return, Dortch. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Cardinals offense ready to set up shop. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
What may seem a little unorthodox to some people, got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. DeMario Davis coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker, has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down. To throw, it's Murray. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Well, they were ecstatic to get to stop and get the ball back. Now they get that punt blocked. Here we go.
And what that play does is anyone who is teetering on the fence on their sideline, wondering about winning the game, it brings them squarely back on the side of, yes, we can get this done. And now you've got a great energy that goes throughout the team.
This is 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Rattler. Now he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Mack Wilson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Rattler wants to throw it. That's caught by Johnson. And he's going to get out of bounds with the first down. So an ideal set of circumstances there. They move the chains, and they save that final timeout. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
He gets it to Cooks.
And he picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
23-yard line.
Here's second down and 3. He's back to throw. This is caught. It's Cooks. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
First down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Trying to pound it in, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints take the block punt and convert it into 6 points.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and zero relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see him scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
The point after, good by Groupie. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Cardinals offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes the right read seemingly every time. They'll come up first and 10 here. Murray to throw. That's caught by Wilson. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
Here comes second down. Able to find Jones. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Final minute, one timeout remaining. First and 10. Now Murray. Able to get this one to McBride. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
situation.
You got to think they should be taking some shots for the end zone soon.
A gain of 15. First down, Arizona.
Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Murray. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he's taken down inside the 30. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
At the 29-yard line.
Here's 1st down. To throw is Murray. He'll get this to Connor underneath. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Run flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
To pick up in 2nd and inches at the 19-yard line.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Saints are winners here as we say so long from New Orleans.